Thank you so much for doing this.
Hey, my pleasure, guys. Hope everything is going well with you. It's the sun rose. Well, it's pretty cloudy out, but it brightened. It's we should be hopefully moving in the right direction, but we'll keep our fingers crossed. It's a frustrating time, and there's no question. I mean, it was interesting when we went into the game last night. They were 6-2-2, and which is among the best in the East for that stretch. But you're right. I mean, there was not an awful lot of effort put into the game last night, and that's disappointing. So it's it has to come from within. It's got to be soul searching and look across the room at the guy across and make sure that everybody's on the same page and going, because it's frustrating. Certainly for the fans, it's frustrating for everybody, but it has to be frustrating for the guys in the room as well.
But is it, Bonesy? Like, they have had so many heartbreaking losses and slumps and bad stretches, and they've learned their lessons.
Whoa! Are we talking just this season? Are we talking this season, or are we talking the last how many years? I mean, I was listening to you guys, and you're right. They have had an awful lot of disappointing games where they got beaten in game sevens, and they got bounced out of the playoffs. And I know it's frustrating, and I know it's difficult, and I know the fans get their shorts in a knot. Check yours just to make sure you're all right.
They're bundled up today, Joe.
But you have to get there to have experienced those emotions, I guess. And, for the last, 10 years, they have gotten there. They've gotten through the regular season. They've gotten there. And yes, they haven't won the ultimate prize. And yet they've lost to teams that have gone on to great success. And you have to kind of, and as frustrating as it is, and I get frustrated too. I'm watching every minute and every game of their season. I oftentimes, you have to kind of step back and say, it's a really good goddamn league. It really is. And you're not always going to be on the top end of things. And if you want frustration, take a car, rent a hotel room, and stay in Buffalo. That's frustration as far as I can see. And I understand. And that's part of what you guys do. You've got your podcast, and we have the media in Toronto, and it is an easy job. It's an easy job to criticize. Always has been. And everybody that's in the media is looking for an easy job. And right now they've got it. They've got a really easy job, because you can sit there and carve and hack and whack and everything else. And a lot of it obviously is warranted. But when everybody was saying, and I'm on a bit of a rant here, I guess, but everybody said, well, it doesn't matter when the race season, postseason. Well, guess what? Getting there is a chore. In this league, it's a good league. And how many teams, what is the percentage of the teams that don't get in each and every season? So, okay, I'm done.
Well, so Joe, to me, I've been frustrated before. I've seen things, and sometimes you feel like you torch the team. Other times I look at the positives and ride with them and think of all the good things that they are and how close they could be to being a great team. To me, yesterday was different. And again, I can handle some turnovers and some bad play and some bad decisions. To me, that was a complete lack of, didn't bother to try. So it's not an easy job to try to do this show when, where do we go from here? What else do I have to say? I don't want to torch the team.
No. I totally agree with you, Jay. And it was just a horse manure performance. And if the rest of this road trip is a carbon copy of all of that, then obviously there is some major issues. And if they haven't already at least surfaced to some extent, and I'm sure that in backroom offices and everything else within the organization, a lot of this is being discussed. And where does the the problem lie? Where can things be corrected? How can things be corrected? At this time of year, it's pretty damn near impossible. I mean, the trade embargo starts here shortly. You're not shaking things up there until after almost the new year, and all of that goes on. So it has to come from within, and I'm going to let them have a little bit of rope, but we better see something tomorrow night in Nashville that seems to show that things are being corrected, and I think that's an important thing. I think the first period tomorrow night is the biggest period that this franchise has had in a while.
Yeah. And not to date you, Joe, like you've seen some stuff in your time. The thing that got me was Craig Berube's comments. Like he didn't have much to say. He seems like he's out of answers here.
No, and I don't know. I mean, lots of things can happen. In my tenure, 6 times there has been a coaching change in mid-season. And I think back to some of those coaches. I mean, in particularly Pat Burns, coming back on the airplane from, I guess we were in Colorado, and having a long discussion with Cliff Fletcher, and it was, I've lost them. I don't have them. And I don't know if Craig Berube feels that way. I don't know if the players feel that way, and I don't know if management feels that way. But that was something that was very hard on Pat Burns, and Pat's modus operandi seemed to be, it was about a 3-year window that you had them, and then after that it became a struggle. And of course he went on for 4 teams: Montreal, Toronto, New Jersey, Boston, and won the Cup in New Jersey. So I don't know if that's an issue. I'm sure it's being bandied about and throughout the course of things, but it's going to be every window is going to be open for a look inside to see exactly what's going on and where things can be corrected. So there's a lot of work being done, not only on the ice but off the ice.
And you've had the best seat in the house for many different eras, coaches, as you've mentioned. You've seen them play different styles of play and different systems for a long time. There's a loud noise in this market from fans saying this system doesn't allow them to be good. Do you buy into that the way Berube is asking them to play is causing this season so far?
No, I mean, the game is a very simple game.
Yes.
If you don't give up any, you don't have to score many. And I think that's exactly what Craig Berube is looking to do. If you're going to play carpenter hockey from a couple of years ago when Eddie Olczyk and company was trying to score 11 each night so they could win 11-10, that's exciting as hell, but it's probably not going to last you very long in the course of things. And early on, they were giving up way too many goals. So it was try to clamp down, try to be more responsible in their own end. But I think what we watched last night is the collapsing back, not aggressive out on the point man, and not being aggressive in your defensive zone coverage, as opposed to being passive at it and backing up and everything else. And I know Jim Ralph and I were commenting on that the point man, they had 3 goals scored by defensemen last night, and each time that point man was not nearly being covered or being pressured. So the collapse sometimes is you think that your goaltending isn't good enough and you've got to be down low blocking shots or something of that nature, as opposed to taking away the shooter, and it compounds itself, right? If you have one aspect of your game going sideways, then every other piece of it seems to be in a turmoil as well. So it's last night was a situation where just about everything that they wanted to do was probably wrong.
Okay, Joe, let's get to you. Two-pronged question. It's been bandied about quite a bit on this show the last couple of days. Was that, in fact, a rum and Coke that you were destroying on camera the
No,
other
I
day?
would never drink rum and Coke.
Okay,
It was
just Coca-Cola then.
No, it was Crown Royal and Diet
Okay.
Coke.
Good
Please,
answer.
please, no, please. No, yes, no, yeah. I'll tell you
That was
what,
sick.
boys. It was a tremendous night. It was a tremendous day. The Bowen clan kind of got things rolling at about noon, and by the time the post-game celebration was finished at Real Sports, and the next morning, the two-headed boy at the circus couldn't have felt any worse than I did. But it was a great time. We had a blast. I saw people that I hadn't seen in a long time. I was so thrilled that so many people from Sudbury made the trek down to be a part of this. Brenda Colson, who was a dear friend that worked for Molson's up in Sudbury with Ray Bradley and Tepper Caverson, made her way down with a whole pile of people that I knew. Nick Foligno, of course, came down, even though his son didn't play. Or Mike Foligno came down, even though Nick didn't play. He was there, and they came up to the booth and gave me a nice Chicago Blackhawk jersey with everybody's autograph on it. And, just so many people that I've been associated with in the media industry and whatnot. Alan Davis, who I worked with in Halifax and is instrumental in me even getting the job in Toronto. I came up from Buffalo. So it was a lot of fun, and a lot of stupid stories were being recounted. We had an ear pod in one ear, and Alyssa Lafontaine, my son David's girlfriend, had it in the other ear, and it was about a 2-minute delay. So while we were chatting and having fun, when the crowd erupted in the third period with those 3 goals, we got to listen to my son David do the calls and the play-by-play, which was an absolute delight, and we had a great time with that.
And I mean, a testament to your career, other teams coming in or giving you gifts and recognizing you. There's not a lot of people that can say that.
I haven't seen anything from you yet. What are you? Am I getting a Christmas present or something from you clowns, or what's going on here?
Postal strike. There's a postal strike. Be patient.
Postal strike.
Be patient.
Oh, it's a postal strike, all right.
Yeah. But that night, I mean, to be able to be recognized like that, do you really just? And it must go all the way back to your decision to call it a career this year. There must be so much reflection on what you've done and what you've seen, and I imagine it's pretty emotional at times.
It is, Jay, and we counted down to this Holy Mackinaw Night, obviously, and now the countdown will start. I guess it had started last night. Not a real good one, but we'll hope that it improves dramatically from this point on. And it will get to be a very emotional time as we go through. But you know what? It's time. I'm comfortable with the decision that I've made. I think that I will look forward to doing some other things. And Jay, I want to be really involved with the Leaf alumni. I've said this many times. I got the Foster Hewitt Award, and I have a wonderful blazer from the Hockey Hall of Fame and being a part of the Hockey Hall of Fame. But the proudest moment I have is when going to the annual meeting a couple of years ago and was ushered in with all of the Leaf alumni and informed that I was voted in as an honorary member of the Toronto Maple Leaf alumni. I think I have called 700 names of people who have pulled that jersey over their head in my career. And I know the alumni is so very active in various things, not only game nights and whatnot, but in charitable events and hockey things and hockey games and tournaments and all kinds of things that I would like to be involved with. I've put the stupid goalie equipment away. I don't think they need me on the ice, but maybe I can grab the microphone and have some fun with everybody while we're having some work done for charity.
Joe, I'm sure you've been asked this question 3 trillion times. Holy Mackinaw, where did it come from?
You.
I knew it. It's not this feeling, Joe.
No, I've told this story lots, but my dad was a general surgeon in Sudbury, delivered 3,000 Sudburyans, actually, and I always tease and I say, but he made two mistakes. Their names were Paul Rimstead, who was a complete nut bar, but wrote a column for the Toronto Sun, and his running mate was Edward Shack. And Eddie Shack was completely nuts. And the two of those guys, they hung out together and they ran roughshod over this town for a number of years. But my dad was a goaltender, played with the University of Western Ontario Mustangs. I'll date him. He played in the league when it was illegal for the goalie to fall down. So that's a number of years ago. I followed in his footsteps. Neither of us made the National Hockey League, but I would sit on his lap when I was a youngster or sit in the room, and our hero was Johnny Bauer. And when Big John made a big save or did one of those great poke checks, or that famous video of him against Montreal sticking his face up so that he could get hit again, my dad would blurt out, "Holy Mackinaw." And my dad passed away when I was 14, and never even thought about broadcasting at that point, or was just starting to think about it. And I never got to ask him where he got it from. So I really don't know where he either stole it or where it came from, but it was an exclamation mark, I suppose, instead of swearing in front of a youngster in front of the TV.
Makes sense to me. It seems to have stuck. What was it like watching your son call a Maple Leafs game? I can imagine that was quite the thrill. He seemed quite good at it as well. I imagine that was a bit of a cherry on top of that night as well.
It was the big cherry on top, Jay. David is finishing up his degree at Laurentian in sports administration, and this is the third season that he has done the Sudbury Wolves game. So I often said athletes like you, Jay, have never been able to come and sit in our chair, the play-by-play chair. They get the one next to it, and they're very good at it. And I've had some wonderful guys who had been former players or coaches, Harry Neal and Jimmy Ralph and Gord Stellick and Bill Waters, who have been really good at the analyst part. But you have to ride the bus to develop a play-by-play style for hockey. It's too fast. Players in baseball or football have made that transition and been play-by-play men because the game's slower. It's more of a conversational kind of thing. If you're going to do play-by-play, especially on radio, where you're trying to paint a picture, a visual picture for someone to visualize what's going on, then you've got to learn how to do it, and you have to do a lot of it, and you have to ride the bus. And I've often teased David and told him about me riding the bus in Sudbury for 7 years. I said, your road trip doesn't start till you drive from Sudbury to the 401. Then you either turn left or you turn right. And that's when the road trip starts. So you get lots of time on the bus to reflect on how things are going and what you want to do. But you have to learn your craft by doing a lot of it. And a lot of it means riding the bus.
Tell you what, big shoes to fill. I was talking to Ralphie the other day. They're going to name the filing cabinet of Bowen's booth. Ralph's Radio Shack is his submission for that. You know what I'm talking about too, eh?
You know what? We're going to keep a bottle of Crown Royal in it too.
Make sure to check out more of our content right here on the Leafs Nation YouTube page. We got long-form interviews, we got clips, we got epic rants by Jay Rosehill. We simply have it all. And don't forget, you can find out much more at theleafsnation.com. Thanks so much for watching.